So now we're going to go to the next one, which is the effect of positive negative co-parenting. All right. So let's see. Chapter 5 is usually where we're looking. Recommendations for future research, page 79. Okay, another page 79. Future research is needed to further explore what aspects of co-parenting affect relationship confidence in adults who experienced a parental divorce. Specifically, it would be important to further explore men and women's experiences with exposure to parental conflict, since that was the only significant finding of all the subscales and gender. Research has shown that exposure to conflict does cause children a variety of stressors that can proceed into adulthood. Therefore, it would be interesting to see what types of conflict stressors specifically impact men and women. Oh, this is great. It would be interesting. Okay, so that's good. And this is how you justify your research, because you can simply say research was conducted on this topic and it was recommended that the types of conflict and stressors specifically impacting men and women be explored. Okay. Further research would also be needed to find any significance between the CRS subscales and the RCS. Since no statistical significance was found in this area, it may be useful to look outside the subscales of the CRS and see if other aspects of co-parenting have a correlation between relationship confidence that could relate to a lack of relationships. Okay. It may be interesting. Let's see. Okay, there is a lack of research pertaining to relationship confidence and an individual's education level. Okay, so education. Future research would benefit from using measures that clearly distinguish scores between positive and negative co-parenting, such as the RCS has scores that clearly distinguish between relationship confidence levels. Future research would also benefit from making sure all scales used have high acceptable levels of internal consistency between 0.65 and 0.80. Future research would be useful exploring deeper how education may, perhaps looking at an individual's preferred area of study, such as psychology, marketing, as factors that could impact relationship confidence. All right, we'll put that. You know what? I'm gonna say examine this by across ethnicities or by a single ethnicity. Okay. Um, and then the impact factors of mothers' fear of being single. Okay, so now let's go to the next article. Okay, so let's see what page numbers. Recommendations for future research 204. Recommendation for future research. The impact on the relationships of the single mother who received social services were a first of the themes identified by the research study. A review of the research study conducted provided several opportunities for future research. A significant problem recognized was regarding mate selection for single mothers who received social services when the choice increased the risk to the stability of their families. First, the first conclusion from the analysis of the FOBS based on the single mothers surveyed was that when the predictors performed as a group, the outcome FOBS was correlated. When the predictors performed independently, the outcomes varied. What this finding meant was that based on the single mother's need for relationship satisfaction, commitment, and duration predicted that her FOBS. Based on the finding, the collective group IVs, example relationship satisfaction, commitment, and duration, that predicted FOBs, the following recommendations are for consideration. The conclusion regarding FOBs based on the single mothers surveyed was that when the predictors performed as a group, the outcome FOBs was correlated. When the predictors, okay, we just said, what's the recommendation? This is very, very poor writing. Therefore, it is recommended to conduct more research regarding the collective performance of IVs on different populations, including urban populations, same-sex populations, and older caregivers responsible for children. Different populations, urban single mothers, conduct additional research on each IV using collective and individual approaches to see, use different methods for collecting data, sampling, whatever. Let's see, sampling both, that's not good. Anything related to sampling, just ignore, because that you can't, generally speaking, you're not going to, the study is not going to be unique enough if you just change the sampling approach. Qualitative methods. The second conclusion, okay, so we're going to pull this, collect data using different populations. Urban single mothers, same-sex single parents, culturally diverse single parents. Okay, so this is going to be one right here. All right. So this one says urban single mothers, same-sex single parents, and culturally diverse single parents. So that's 3 different studies right there. Okay. Let's see. Conduct additional research on each IV using collective and individual approaches to see if the results are comparable to FOBS research. I mean, we can put that. And then one more, using different, okay, we're not doing that. Okay, and then contrary to relationships, conduct additional research. Relationship satisfaction, conduct additional research on each IV. It's just sampling. Focus groups. Sample male and female dating partners associated with single mothers receiving social services to examine the unique viewpoints of relationship satisfaction, commitment, and duration based on FOBS and DOP. Conduct research on the interaction between FOBS and DOP to extend this is just gender. This is just gender. Urban single mothers. Yeah, so it's just looking at the same thing. So we'll just keep that as it is because this is just duplicating itself. DOPs. All right, so that's fine.